The morning sun rose gently over the green meadow, painting the land in soft gold. Dewdrops sparkled on the grass like tiny crystals. It was a new day, calm, pure, and peaceful. In that quiet field lived a sheep named Lumo, known by the shepherd and his family as one of the gentlest creatures in the flock. Lumo had never known danger. His world was made of sunshine, grass, and the laughter of the shepherd's children. But nature doesn't give warnings. Beneath the thick green blades of grass, something ancient stirred, silent as the wind, patient as the shadows. A massive python slid forward, its scales glinting faintly under the morning light. It had come down from the nearby forest, driven by hunger. Its tongue flicked in and out, tasting the air, searching for warmth and movement. And there it was, the perfect prey. Lumo stood a few feet away, head lowered, peacefully grazing. The soft breeze brushed his wool. He had no idea that danger was just steps behind. The python froze, coiled itself slightly, its muscles tightening. The earth seemed to pause. Then in a flash, it struck. The snake's head shot forward, faster than lightning, and before Lumo could even turn, the cold, muscular body wrapped around him. The first coil tightened around his chest, knocking the air from his lungs. The second pinned his legs. The third sealed his fate. Lumo fell to the ground, bleeding in panic, his cries echoing through the empty meadow. He thrashed wildly, kicking and twisting, but the serpent's grip grew stronger. The python's strength was terrifying. Silent, suffocating, relentless. For a moment it seemed over. The sheep's eyes rolled with fear, and the meadow fell into a deadly stillness. But Lumo was not ready to die. Somewhere deep inside, something awakened. A wild instinct, a desperate courage born from the will to live. He twisted his neck, slammed his body against the ground, kicked with his last strength. The python hissed, angered by resistance. It squeezed harder, trying to end the struggle. Every breath became a battle. Every heartbeat sounded louder. The world narrowed to two creatures, locked in an ancient dance of life and death. Meanwhile, far away near the edge of the meadow, the shepherd, an old man named Rafik, was mending a fence. The sound of distant bleating caught his ear. At first he thought it was just the flock calling to one another, but then he heard it again, sharper, filled with pain. Rafik dropped his tools and ran. His heart pounded as his boots struck the earth. The cries grew louder. When he reached the hilltop, he froze. Down in the field he saw Lumo, his beloved sheep, wrapped in the coils of a monstrous python. For a second, time stopped. Then instinct took over. He shouted, a fierce human cry, and sprinted downhill, grabbing his long wooden staff. The snake lifted its head, tongue flicking in warning. Rafik didn't stop. He swung the staff hard, striking the serpent's body. The python tightened its grip, trying to finish what it had started. Let him go! Rafik roared, swinging again. The stick cracked against the snake's thick skin. The creature hissed, twisting in fury. Lumo gasped for air, his legs trembling. Rafik struck again and again until finally, with a violent shudder, the python loosened its hold and slithered back, its body rippling with silent rage. It glared for a moment, then retreated toward the forest, defeated but alive. Rafik dropped to his knees beside Lumo. The sheep lay motionless, eyes half open, chest barely rising. The old man's hands shook as he touched him. Come on, my boy, breathe, he whispered. For a moment there was nothing. Then slowly, a weak exhale. The sheep blinked, dazed but alive. Rafik laughed and cried all at once, hugging the trembling animal. You're safe now, he said softly. You fought bravely. He lifted Lumo in his arms and carried him back toward the barn. The other sheep stirred nervously as they smelled the scent of fear and snake. Rafik laid Lumo gently on the straw, cleaned the bruises and gave him water. The poor animal shivered but pressed his head weakly against the shepherd's arm, as if saying thank you. Hours passed. The danger was gone, but the story had just begun. Word spread quickly through the small village. People came to see the brave sheep that survived the python's attack. Children whispered the story in awe, calling Lumo the lion-hearted sheep.